Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 90, Franco's World. Today's guest, very special guest, Jared Schwartz. Jared, what's up, guy?
What's up, Franklin? Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to be on this phone call with you.
Yeah, no video. Jared told me before the thing started, he said, Frank, you're not going to go anywhere unless you get video, bud.
Hey, I could be taking a dump and you'd have no idea.
It's very true. He was just eating a lot before this. It sounded, I don't know what it was. It could have been some Indian food. It might be a bad time.
That's why we got the late. So I was eating some Popeyes after a nice workout,
Yeah, Popeyes, I think they specifically said definitely eat it after a workout to build muscle.
Hey, it's bulking season.
That's true. That's true.
Is it though? No, bulking season. Well, I don't know. Bulking season, I think, is over. It's shredding season now.
You are asking the wrong guy, Jared. I'm 6'3" and 160 some pounds. I could blow away in the wind, man. I mean, you are asking the wrong guy.
We got no video, Franklin. I can't see you.
Oh my gosh, this is 2 weeks in a row. James also roasted me about not having video.
No. Well, third time's the charm.
All right, where can the people follow you at? I'm tired of getting roasted.
You can follow me at the Kid Jared, TheKidJared on Twitter, Instagram. You can find me on YouTube at Jared Schwartz. Please check out my cartoons. Check out Only Feehans with Karen Feehan. That's ONLYFEEHANS. Only Feehans with Karen Feehan.
It's very funny stuff. Very funny stuff. He puts a lot of his stuff on his Instagram. You can check that out. The Kid Jared, good follow. Make sure you check him out. He's honestly, and from my lens, is not very down close on the New York comedy scene. Since I'm not
excited to see your perspective because you are seeing me over the internet. We have never
exactly. So from my perspective, and I guess from how other people might perceive you, you are the chillest person around. You're the chillest comic around. You're just so laid back and casual, but in a good way. It's not like lethargic. It's just you're very methodical and all of your moves are planned out, but you're giving it off as you're like the cool chill guy. Have you always been the cool chill guy, or like what is the origin of that?
Have I always been the cool chill guy? Me personally, I want to say yes.
Yeah.
And I think my hometown friends would also say yes, but they would also follow with a but and be like, he's this and that.
Right.
But I've always been the guy, like I never drank in high school. I wasn't the drinker in high school. I was the smoker in high school. So like I would be in the corner just chilling with the homies, smoking weed. And that was really it. And it's funny because I didn't even know that when you tell people you're chill, that they're automatically going to assume you smoke weed. So now, like, I can't get rid of that stereotype that I smoke a lot of weed. But also, it's just my face. Again, you can't see me, but people just come up to me and ask me, they're like, dude, are you high right now? And I'm like, no, it's just my face when I'm, like, dead sober.
And, are they asking you for weed all the time?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Like people will come up to me and ask me for weed. I'll be like, I think I just look that cool. That's why they ask. But then I see my face in the mirror. I'm like, oh, that's why they ask.
Oh man, I like how you open your sets with like you guys, y'all trying to chill. Like that's funny. What made you want to start saying that type of stuff?
Again, I wish I had the freaking day. On the date, on the thumb. Like I wish I had the exact day, but. I remember afterwards talking to someone, a veteran comic, and I go, hey, man, I just opened up this set where I was like, what's up? Y'all trying to chill? And it felt great, and people liked it. And, like, it just gave me, like, it, like, broke down that fourth wall of, like, me being one with the audience. And he's like, yeah, that's a great idea. You should keep doing that. And I just kept doing it. And for me, it makes me comfortable being on stage.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just stuck, and now people see me and they're like, you trying to chill? And I'm like, yeah, let's chill. And then they're like, oh no, I was just joking. And now I'm like, oh, so that's
but this is great. This is great because a lot of comics have their thing, and this is your thing. This is your this could be your cornerstone thing. You make t-shirts and hats.
Right.
I'm just thinking purely business, but think about it, not to name drop, but all these other comics that have a certain thing, like Bert Kreischer takes his shirt off.
Right.
Mark Norman says he's Kevin Hart, like those types of jokes.
Or
like
comedy.
This is,
he goes comedy.
Yeah. Oh, comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy just took comedy and made it his. That guy is absolutely brilliant. But that's not what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, but again, like I think this is a great thing that you do. I think it's really unique. So just keep at it, man. Being the chill guy.
I do appreciate that, man. Because again, you tell me I'm strategic, but I had no idea what I'm doing, you know. And I just started doing that, and it just stuck. And haters are coming along with it, fans are coming along with it. So you know, I'm really just riding the wave of what it is, and I
Yeah.
don't even know. But I appreciate you. I
It'd
appreciate
be
you
fun.
giving me your perspective on it because it just helps me put it into hindsight. But again, I don't really know what it is, you
It
know.
will be funny though when you're like 75 years old and you're trying to get one last round of tickets out there, and you're like, "Yo, trying to chill." Like, yeah, that would
I
be
hope
funny.
so, man. I'm also just thinking about the future of it too. I'm like, am I gonna be chilling at 30 years old? And I hope I'm not
Oh,
still chilling at my parents' house. You know?
well, yeah, but I mean, like, that's different. I mean, like, I'm about to hit 25 in April. How old are you?
Oh shit! It sounds like we're 96 boys.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
96
yeah.
boys.
What?
Franklin, we're connecting here. We're connecting
That's
here. I
it.
like it.
That's it. Yeah. Forget the
I'm a
whole get to know
96
you
boy.
thing. Let's just form a friendship right here.
I love it, man. We're chatting. We're chilling. What else more could you ask for?
When were you born?
December 96.
Oh,
So I'm in the
December.
40s.
Okay. Oh,
I'll be 25 as well this year. I can't even
heck yeah,
fucking
man. All
believe
right.
that.
Well, okay. Man, this whole threw a loop in the whole show because now I could talk to you about you're big. Are you a big music guy at all?
No, not one bit.
Okay, never
I
mind. We'll
like
scratch
rap.
that.
I'm a big fan of Kanye West, so that
Okay.
means I'm a fan of myself.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm a John Mayer fan, so I'm also a narcissist.
I mean, aren't we
They
all narcissists? We are.
Yeah, we are, and people don't admit that enough. They think like they give so
Right.
much to other people, but it's like when they say things like "I'm so caring," I give so much of myself to people. Maybe I just follow
Mhm.
the wrong people and they tweet this type of stuff, but like that's
Mhm.
so narcissistic.
They have to let people know that they do that in order for them to feel good about it.
Yeah,
Whereas the real narcissists will just go about their life, and other people call them narcissists for it when they're giving other people opportunity. I don't know. That's just me. I have no idea.
but I'm very curious because you being the chill, cool guy. Were some of the comics that you admired growing up? You said you grew up in a funny household. Your dad was
Mhm.
a funny guy. Were they laid back, or did you like the rapid fire, bang, bang, bang type of comic?
Uh, I would say like my top three like people growing up that I would watch a lot. They're probably very chill guys. You know, it's like the top five I would say is like they're stand up. They're all stand ups as well as directors, and
Yeah.
I would say no particular order, but it's like Adam Sandler, Jerry
Hmm.
Seinfeld, Larry David, Dave Chappelle, and Seth Rogen. Those are
Hmm.
my guys. And if you look at them, I think they're all pretty chill, laid back guys.
Yeah.
I
They're
would say
chill
Adam
and laid
Sandler is
back in
very
their
laid
own
back.
way, but they can also be
Right.
very, like, very, very. I mean, I don't know. Blunt. Blunt is probably the right word.
Right. Right. And I think I'm very blunt as well. I would say.
Unfortunately, I haven't seen like a ton of your like straight up act.
Yeah, I don't
But
have too
like
much of it because I only have a few minutes. I can't be giving it out for free.
that's fair. That's fair enough. You're just refining those minutes. They're in the
Right.
refinery.
Yeah,
But
I'm
the
only
material that you like to deliver, would you say it's a lot of like I don't know, Seinfeldy type of like trying to make a minor thing into a major thing and how it bothered you, or is it more
no.
philosophical?
It's more, letting the people know who I am, and
Mhm.
hopefully they wanna chill with me by the end of it.
Ah, okay. So you're
You know
the
what I
whole
mean?
time you're
I lay it out, I'm like, "Hey, are you guys trying to chill? We're gonna chill up he I'm gonna chill up on this stage no matter what for the amount of time I have,
yeah.
and here's who I am. If you wanna chill with me after the show, you're more than welcome. You know who I am now." That's what I
Wow.
try putting out there. I got, like, the advice from, Seth Rogen, somebody like, one of his YouTube videos of him performing at, like, 15.
Yeah.
All like, he said, like, he would go out and, like, he would go out in, like, a suit and try to portray this older person, and then, like, all the older dudes in the green room would tell him, be like, "Hey, dude, you're 15. Don't talk about 15-year-old things. Don't spice it up for no reason. Just go out and talk about what you know." And that's really what I talk about just
Mhm.
in general. But the thing is, I
Well,
don't know
the
anything,
audience just
so
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, but the thing is, I don't know anything, so I really just talk about a lot of nothing in my life.
Yeah. I tried to talk about minor things a lot and turn them into minor inconveniences, major annoyances type of thing.
Right?
Like that's
Yeah.
that's
That's
what I like to do. Of like I have this
yeah.
I've been working on this joke about Victoria's Secret and
Mhm.
how I grew up in a very religious household. And so when I was like 12, 13 years old, and I'm walking through the mall with my mom, and I'm trying with all of my might not to turn over and look and see what secrets Victoria is keeping in there because I don't want my mom to slap me in public.
Right.
Like that's the type of stuff I'm trying to work on and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
so you like Seinfeld, you like Larry David. Are you a big Curb guy?
Big curve guy.
Okay,
Big curve
let's
guy.
talk Curb. Let's talk Curb because I need to know what you would have to say one of your favorite scenes is because I've been watching the swan killing
Mm.
scene on repeat for the past week.
Oh, I really love the Trump hat scene that he had in the last season. That was fucking just brilliant. But I
Yeah,
mean, it's so hard to choose because it's just every episode is just like like so what I did was I don't think over quarantine, but like maybe when I first got into comedy, I just watched Curb just on repeat
yeah,
and well, just watched through the whole season and I just studied it and I'm like, oh, like, and I just like made like took notes and like of the time frames, like, oh, how long was this? How long was this scene? How long was this scene? Oh, okay, it's just all 2 minute scenes put together. All right. And then like it just all ties back. I'm like, how does he tie it back every single time? And you just
yeah.
know that he's gonna tie it back, and then you're just still surprised. You're like, this fucking guy. I I wouldn't say like my favorite. I really love the scene with the prostitute, and
Hmm.
he takes her to the he needs her for the Hove lane because he needs more than one person. So
Right.
he brings her to the game. That's a really funny scene. It's just it's so much, like, there's too many, there's 11 seasons, there's too many to choose from, but those stand out. I sorta wrote over quarantine I actually wrote it a while back, it's funny, I wanted to bring it up when we talked sports, so maybe I'll save it, but I wrote, like, an episode that's like Curb-like, where, like, something in the beginning happens, and then something at the end, it ties back into it, and it's very that's where, like, everything I get but it's also a life experience as well, that's what I want to say. What I
The
wrote about is
more
just
Larry David stuff I watch, and I'm a big fan myself, like
mhm,
I find myself in everyday situations thinking like that would be a Larry David type thing. So the other
right.
day I got a story, and then we could talk about
Yeah,
you're a sports nerd.
yeah, I mean
This there was a sports card shop like an hour and a half away from me. Okay.
uh-huh,
Um, and me and two other friends, we go down there. We have a good time. We open up all this stuff, and my one friend decides to be a big dork and open up his 1980s baseball cards at the dinner
oh,
table.
no.
Meanwhile, our server is absolutely gorgeous. Like the hottest
Mhm,
person within like a 30-mile radius. She is absolutely gorgeous.
mhm,
And we're having a good time. We're laughing. We're chilling. We're not uh, sort of like provoking the situation, or anything, making a big deal about it. We're just living our everyday life. But our other
yeah,
friend, who's into Magic, which is like a card game, I don't know if you know what
yeah,
Magic the card game is.
no, I
It's
never heard
kind
of
of like nerdy, like Yu-Gi-Oh type of stuff.
mhm.
And he's into that. And so he bought some Magic cards, and my one friend was opening up his 1980s baseball cards, and he's like, "Are you going to open up your Magic cards here too?" And he's like, "No, I'm not doing that. I don't want people to think I'm weird, Like that's a nerdy thing. I'm not going to do it out in public." And then the really hot server comes over and she goes, "Were you guys just talking about Magic?" And then we're like, yeah." And she's like, "My boyfriend plays it. There's a place a couple miles down the road that has it, and they can serve beer and play tournaments. It's really cool stuff." And
Oh,
I
that's so
look at him and I go, "Hear that, Clayton? Magic, huh?" And I'm just thinking
uh,
like, that's a Larry David, like, "Oh, look at that. The hot girl's into the thing that you think's nerdy." But I'm very curious about the sports Larry David story.
yeah. Well, it's funny, just another thing, as I'll get to that, but just another thing that happens a lot often, Jerry Seinfeld, Seinfeld episodes always happen in life too, like, multiple times. Do you remember the Big Salad, episode?
Oh, yeah.
So the big salad where George buys Elaine a salad, but George's date hands Elaine the salad and takes the thank you, and George is upset that she took the thank you and didn't say it was George who got it, you know?
Right.
And I've had multiple occasions of that happen. The most frequent one is I was at a comedy show, and I have a very distinct laugh that people on the open mics, it just happened yesterday. I was at a comedy show and somebody said something about my laugh because it's all genuine laugh. Sometimes I'll be like, ha, and
Yeah.
people would just mention it. And I was at a comedy show and somebody was like, whose laugh is that? That you sound like a dolphin. And somebody else took credit for it. And I was like, they just big saladed me.
They just
Or
big
like,
saladed me.
right. Or like, I remember this one was a little bit more big salad where I passed my driver's, my driver's test. And my grandma had brought me to the driver's test, but she wasn't the one who taught me how to drive. But
Mhm.
the instructor goes, "Oh, he is very good. You taught him well." And my grandma goes, "Thank you." And I go, "Grandma, you didn't teach me. Why would you take that thank you?" And I straight up said that to her too. She's like, "Oh, it's okay." I'm like, "I'm telling my dad." And my dad was like, "She just big saladed me."
Oh, so at 16, you're out here being like, "Can you believe this? She took the
Right,
thank you."
right, at 16, and, and here, again, like I said, I grew up on this because now I was writing jokes, I've been writing jokes, and I want to touch on the Larry David, type of ordeal where, I wrote a joke, basically, I wrote this scene in my episode. See, now I'm all over the place. Let me get to the punchline of it. This is my problem. I take too long to get there. But
No.
basically, when I was going to a Yankee game, I was sitting field level, left field, right? And it's funny. I hope the people know you're a scout, so you know baseball. This is why I brought it up.
Right.
And I think you will like it because you know baseball. If you don't like it, you might not get it. If you don't know baseball, you might not get it. So I was sitting field level, left field at a Yankee game. So I go, I'm gonna make a sign because why not? My other friend made a sign as well. His sign was like Alex Rodriguez for AL MVP. This was like 5 years ago, 2015. I think it was like his first year back or something like that. Maybe 2015. Can you correct me?
A-Rod?
Yeah.
We're probably like 08, 09.
No, no. His first year back after steroids.
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'd have to Google it.
I think it might have been like 2015. Jamie, get on that.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I need a guy.
I got guys. We all need guys. But my joke that I wrote on the poster, I'm sitting left field at a Yankee game. Do you know who plays left field for the Yankees
Is
at
it
the
Brett
time?
Gardner?
Brett Gardner. So my sign says, "I came here to rub Brett Gardner's head for 3 wishes." And I put a genie bottle. I printed out a big genie bottle, and I also drew in the smoke, and I put his head coming out of it.
No, that's really detailed.
And very detailed. I'm an arts and crafts. I'm an arts and crafts guy through and through. Growing up, my
Yeah.
mom always got me into arts and crafts. I wish they put me into the arts rather than sports because I would be way ahead in this career.
Right.
And basically, so the story gets better because I bring that sign. I'm sitting front row, second row, whatever, and I pointed out to him multiple times. Supposedly, somebody said I got on TV. Never saw it. Whatever. Multiple times he acknowledges it. In the ninth inning, listen, in the ninth inning, he points to me and throws me the ball. Right? I had
Wow.
my glove with me. It's funny. I was like 18 at the time, bringing my glove.
Bringing
But
your
I
mitt.
knew I knew I'm gonna have a catch with Brett Gardner, so I'm like, I gotta bring my glove. He's gonna throw
Uh,
me. So listen to this. I get the ball thrown to me, but I have a full little league team sitting next to me.
oh no.
So I then look like the fucking asshole. And to make things worse, my friends start a chant, "Give up the ball, you faggot, give up the ball." And I'm like, you fucking scumbags. Next thing you know, the whole crowd chanting against me, "Give up the ball, give up the ball." And next thing I know, I give up the ball to the one little girl who was on the team. And as I'm trying to give it, these kids are like fucking piranhas, bro, grabbing for the ball. Just piranhas. I'm trying here. And then I give them the ball. They all cheer. And I turn around and I go, "Thanks a lot, guys." Like I didn't earn that ball. You know what I mean?
That's very Larry David. I could totally see him like not wanting to give up that ball under any
Right.
circumstance.
Right. And so basically in the story I wrote is I had ran into them earlier in the day when they were fundraising. But they were
Uh,
fundraising in the middle of the street panhandling. You know that type of thing that they do
yep.
like as teams? So I basically the scene is I drive up, I'm at a stoplight, and this team is just panhandling in the middle of the street, little kids, and the parents are just talking on the sidewalk. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. You guys should be doing like a car wash or like a lemonade stand. This is so dangerous. And then I tell the mom, I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots. And then I later run into them at the game, and then that just tell me that's not Larry
That's
David.
a perfect full circle. I love that.
Right, right. So, uh, any networks, if you're listening, please, it's a great pitch.
That's
Please,
actually no, that's a
I
really good story, man. That's really good.
thank you. I appreciate that. And if you want, I want to send you, maybe if you can attach it when you post content for this, I can send you the video and the poster.
Dude, I mean that's perfect. I'll post all that stuff. That's genius.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
got you,
So I've
man.
been writing those. That was 2015, I want to say. So yeah, I'm looking at the date right here. I'm on my phone, 4/24/15. So give or take, I've been, that was a
You've been
joke I wrote
crafting this for
2 years ago.
years.
I've been at it for years, man. I was the class clown. I've been doing it. So it's
I
just
like it,
dope
man.
that I found the career path for it.
My favorite Yankee of all time, and then I got another thing about little kids being piranhas when it comes to baseballs, but
Right.
um my favorite Yankee of all time is Nick Swisher.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, he's from my
I
hometown,
remember.
so I got to show
Yeah.
respect to him.
Oh, is he? Is he? I didn't know
Yeah, but I had to get that point out there. Um, so little
that.
kids being piranhas with baseballs. This is nothing new. So my roommate was playing for the AAA team for the Phillies in 2019,
He was playing
and so
AAA for the Phillies.
yeah,
This was
my
when you were at West Virginia, you said?
no, when I was in this was 2019, so I was living near Philadelphia, and my roommate was playing for the AAA team. It's in Lehigh Valley.
This is when you were a scout.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Okay, and so I would go to games a lot, and he was in the bullpen like for the whole game, and like the team would be getting killed, and you have these annoying kids be like, "Throw a ball, throw a ball, throw a ball," and he's
Mhm.
like, "Shut up, kid!" Like these kids
Yeah,
are
yeah.
unrelenting when it comes to
Oh,
like
I've
getting a
been there.
ball.
I was that kid for sure. Whenever I go to games, I'm like, "Hey, man, I tried it." Even nowadays, I'm that fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I understand it. That's funny
I
though.
yeah, but
Perspective. It's all about perspective.
yeah. So you're a big sports guy. You're a big baseball guy. Like, would you say so? You're a Yankees guy. I'm trying to piece
Yeah,
together everything. You've had a very fortunate
basketball, sports.
childhood
Yes, for sure. Very
when it comes
fortunate.
to being a Yankees fan.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
myself don't really have a team right now. I'm
Giants
in
fan as
limbo.
well. You're in limbo. How
Yeah.
are you in limbo?
Okay. So here's my origin. When I was a little kid, I loved Chipper Jones. I loved watching the Braves on TBS every
Mhm,
night. Then TBS lost the rights to the Braves, so I had no
mhm.
team. My sister moved to Pittsburgh. I watched the Pirates for like 6, 7 years. That's a poorly ran franchise. They'll never win anything. I get the job in baseball, and I'm watching 4 games a day, and it makes me really not want to be a fan of anybody, and it's just like a
Mhm.
job.
Right.
So now I'm a Mets fan.
Oh, can we end this? No, I'm just playing. It's funny. Even when they were in the World Series in 2015, I was like, I had to go. The thing is, I don't have any hard feelings for anyone
Yeah,
unless like you really did something wrong to me. But like it's like my dad, like back in his day, you know what I mean? You hate the fucking Mets. So like
yeah,
me, like our generation, we're more, especially me as a chill guy. I'm just like, if they win, maybe I'll go to the World Series. Maybe I'll go to the parade,
yeah, yeah,
support.
yeah.
I don't
No, well,
really
I
care.
actually went to a couple Mets games in like 2006, 7 or 8, back in the Shea Stadium era. So like that's kind of like where like my little seed was planted, where it's like you don't. It's almost like you have teams that you like and teams that you hate, like
Hmm.
or like you have teams that you don't hate and teams that you hate, and that became like the Mets, a team I didn't hate, and now it turns into a team that I like to watch and everything.
Interesting.
But I got to ask because we were talking about this before the show, and I know it's not the easiest of transitions, but we were talking about Instagram before this, and I know you got a lot of thoughts on this, and I know you got a lot of ideas on this. We had to unfollow just these toxic, I guess would be the right word, spam accounts that were once really funny, and I don't know if
Well,
it's us getting older or what
well,
happened.
I was gonna say this is a great transition because you probably have to unfollow the Mets mid-season. You know what I mean? Because it's just so toxic to watch them. You
True,
know
I
what
have
I
to
mean?
watch them blow another like ninth inning lead.
Yeah. I mean, over quarantine, I just got like it's why I had a tweet like I knew quarantine. I knew the quarantine was coming to an end when I unfollowed all the supermodels I followed during it. You know what I mean? because
See,
you
I was
like
never a follow model guy. I never followed him.
no, I don't know. I was just like, maybe I'll have a shot with them one day. So let me follow them now, and I'll be like, hey, I've always been a fan. You know, it wasn't
Yeah.
just now. But I don't know. It's just like being on. I was just on my phone so much. I was just like, I guess I need entertainment. And then like I was like, all right, now I'm on my phone too much. I gotta stop watching all this.
Yeah.
And also, I just wanted to fix that follower ratio. You know what I mean? That's what it's all
Y
about.
yeah, ratios are a thing, and every now and again, people get caught in my social media purges, and it's, well, they don't listen to this, so it doesn't matter, but it's a lot of people from, like, my hometown, and, like, whenever acquire enough follows from people that, like, from like hear the show or see me on TikTok or something like that, and they follow me, and it's like, okay, I could stand to lose, 100 or so I unfollow all these people from my hometown, so I don't have to deal with that mess.
Right.
And that's kind of my in terms of ratio, because I know you're not supposed to say it, like you're supposed to say it doesn't matter, but it kind of matters.
Oh, it totally fucking matters. You know what I mean? People. We I was talking about this yesterday with a couple comics. Like, people will get booked who have never done stand up in their life, but they have a following. So
Yeah,
they will sell out. It's the business side of it, and people get caught up in the art form of it and forget all about the business side of it. You know what
yeah,
I mean? It's so funny. Like all the like a lot of kids will, a lot of comics will make fun of me for going around or like posting boomerangs and doing shit like that. They're like, oh, but you're not funny. You're just posting. I'm like, that's also the business side of it, buddy. Like, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I
yeah. You
mean?
definitely have to
That's
post
exactly
stuff.
what it is. You definitely got to post. You definitely got to have a following. But then it's the devil. What are you
I
gonna do?
understand if people want to maintain a sense of artistic integrity and they think
Right.
that becoming an Instagram person is going to devalue their art, but how are more people supposed to see it in the modern era? Like I mean, obviously you have a different view and you have a different experience than I do, but like no one's just going to come up to you and after like seeing you at a hole in the wall mic and just be like, "Hey, come write for my TV show." You have to like get the content out there.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that 90% because you might be at a hole in the wall mic and someone might come up to you. So that's why you got to be nice to everybody.
Oh yeah, and that's not what I mean. I'm just talking about posting
No,
on
I
social
know.
media.
I'm just saying the chances. Oh yeah, posting on. Yeah, exactly. You will. It's just more of a reach. It's like it's a platform that you can only gain from,
Mhm.
in my opinion. I mean, I was just talking to a friend earlier. She's like, "Why aren't you?" Because I was reaching out to someone, and she was like, "Oh, did you do any research on them before?" I was like, I don't need to do that much research. It was. I don't want to. I don't want to. I was hitting up like an agent that I got from like a referred to from a friend, and she's like, "Did you do any research on him?" I was like, "What more research do I need other than he's an agent at this company?" And she's like, "Oh, you should
Yeah.
look up his LinkedIn." And then I was like, "Oh, I have." And then she's like, "Are you on LinkedIn?" I'm like, "For what?" And it's just another social media that will just give me more anxiety. But you just why not be on it? It can only add.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I mean?
started
It
posting
cannot
the show on
subtract.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, you've been booking shows on LinkedIn. You said.
No, I started posting the show on LinkedIn. I haven't booked
Oh.
anything on LinkedIn.
Well, I mean, I know people who book shows on LinkedIn. They're reaching out to corporates and they're fucking, getting corporate gigs.
The corporate gig, that's a whole entity in and of itself. Have you had an experience with that?
A corporate gig. I mean, I've done a clean gig before. It was for like I've done like a couple fundraisers. Again, I'm very new, so like I'm really just finding everything out. You know what I mean? When I see people doing corporate gigs, like I'll be like, hey, how do I get that? You know, what I mean, I'll be like,
Yeah.
what do I got to do to get that? And sometimes people will talk to you, sometimes people won't. But it's really again, I'm under 3 years in, so I'm really just figuring everything out.
Mhm. So under 3 years in, so what was your origin in terms of, making you wanna start, doing mics and stuff like that?
It's funny you say that. I mean, again, I've always yeah, we've discussed. I've always been into comedy, and I remember it was like over 4 years ago now. Me and my dad were like, yeah, we're gonna write a sitcom, and I remember telling my friends, I'm like, yeah, me and my dad are gonna write a sitcom, and I remember I told one friend that in confidence, and then a mutual friend of ours I was hanging out with by myself after that, and he was like, yeah, I heard you and your dad are writing a sitcom, and he said that like almost mockingly.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, and that's why I took it. But then the real origin story is when I went to Mardi Gras, I discovered Adderall for the first time, and after I
Wow.
discovered Adderall, Adderall was, that flick of the switch in my brain and was like, "Alright,
That's
you
a
wanted to do
wild thing.
comedy." Yeah, I mean, well, I just always had I self-diagnosed with ADHD, but then I really went and got tested, and I had it because I eventually wanted the Adderall, and,
Yeah.
it just helped me figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and that's exactly right after that, I took 25 milligrams of Adderall. I spoke to my boy for an hour. I was able to talk. I was like, "Oh shit, I can finally get my words out in a sort of proper manner." And I think I can I can almost like think things thoroughly now and thoroughly through. Is that the right word?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Get
yeah,
things
yeah.
through. And I just started writing it in my phone, and I was like, "Wow." I also had all these stories from Mardi Gras. I was like, "Where do I share these stories? I have to tell someone. I can't just tell my boys. Like that's not enough." They'll be like, "All right,
Yeah.
bro, we heard them 7 times already." So then I put on Facebook. I'm like, "Hey, where can I go to an open mic?" Somebody put freemics.com.
Yeah.
I remember I went first one said I went. I don't know if you're familiar with the Laughing Buddha. I don't know if you know about that.
I've heard, things. I have heard things.
Yeah, so not good things probably, but,
Correct.
I don't care, and I went to their mic, and I luckily I did well, and I started going once a week to open mics, and I started finally I remember I was working with my boy when I was working as a lifeguard, and we'd clean up, and I'd tell him all about, like, the few mics that I'm doing, and he's like, "Dude, you gotta start, like, talking to people," and then next thing I know, I started talking to people, next thing I know, they're like, "Yeah, you gotta do this 7 days a week, you gotta get up an hour a week." And next thing I know, I'm full-fledged going 7 days a week, meeting people every day, and then one thing led to another, and I'm chilling with the boys at open mics every day, and now starting to chill at shows every
Yeah.
day, and that's really just thank you to Adderall,
Eh, dude, who would have thought? Who would have thought those
Right.
chemical compounds turn
Well,
you
you know
into
who
this.
would've thought? All the teachers I had growing up,
That
because they
also makes
definitely
sense,
wanted me
yep.
on it. They
Did they put
definitely
their
wanted
notes
me
on
on it.
your, report card and say, like, "Talks too much"?
Hey, yeah, that's exactly yeah, exactly. But my mom, thank God, she never got me on it as a young age. So I don't know how the chemical balance would be now, but now I'm able to feel like I can control it and
Mhm.
understand it much more. And I think it's healthy for me and just makes me a better person.
Well, that's awesome, man, and I'm
Yeah,
happy you found, that sort of feeling, no matter
yeah.
where it comes from,
I'm happy I
but
found comedy.
yeah, exactly. It sounds like that's the one true love is being able
Hmm.
to make jokes for people. And I've always said, like, I've said this on countless episodes. Like, my goal when it comes to comedy is obviously, like, make a career, but like I want to be one of the guys in the clubhouse, and I want to be like when I'm on a show, I want other comics to be like, oh, that's Frank. He's a good worker. I respect him. I
Hmm.
want to be respected by my peers. You know what I mean?
Right, right. And
That's sort of my main goal.
But yeah, and the thing is with comedy, you don't get respect. Even you'll do a fucking special and you still won't get respect. You know what
I
I mean?
know.
But that's the thing. I love it because I'm trying to think of like there's a job where it's like you don't get respected even if you do your job right. But like I feel like
Probably NFL punter.
yeah, even then they're still calling you a punter. It's like you're you know what I mean? They're like you could be doing better things. Can you be
Yeah,
playing
they're
soccer?
like, "Oh, that's anybody could just kick the ball." Yeah.
Right, right. So I was thinking maybe like an accountant, but then even then people are like, like you do your job right, they're like, okay, that's it, you're done, you're good. Like if you do your job right on a special, it doesn't matter. You got the
Well, think
special,
about
your
it, like
job's already
NFL
done.
punter, like you have to punt the ball away. It's like, "Oh my god, we didn't get anything going. We have to send this guy out there." And then if he shanks one, it's like, "Oh my god, he's worthless."
Right.
I don't know. I like to just come up with sports analogies for some dumb reason.
No,
But
I like it.
yeah,
I don't know if it
Joey
totally
Rinaldi
went,
has a
but it was
what's
there.
that?
I said I don't know if it totally went, but I got where you were going with it.
All right. Don't
That's
worry,
just
I'll
the
cut
thing.
it.
That's just the thing with comedy, dude. It's just like what my sports analogy to comedy is bowling.
Wow.
Much,
Joey
much
Rinaldi
like
has a golf one, I have a baseball one, and you have a bowling one.
really?
Yeah.
What's his a friend of mine has referred to boxing, which I get. What was Joey's I mean, I
He's
listened to it, but I think
he says,
well,
he what does he say?
it's funny because he sucks at golf, so I don't know.
Do you golf?
Maybe yeah, yeah. We were actually me and Joe were supposed to golf this summer, and then he was like, "Yeah, I just shot a 109 with my my brothers and his or like a 145 with my brother and his friends, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, we're not going."
Yeah, dude. I
Like,
mean, like,
I played high school golf.
oh, really?
Yeah, only because I got cut from the baseball team.
Oh, well, now you're making me sad. We can talk about golf after I finish this.
But it doesn't matter because I got one great high school baseball memory in, and that's all that one memory will outshine any
Is
memory
that
I
the
would have
story that
had.
you want? Is that the story that we're gonna hit on after this?
We could, man. It's a great story between family, and it's very heartwarming. You
Oh,
know,
okay. Oh, okay. It's an E60 story. All right. A little 30 for 30
basically,
short.
basically,
All right. So
and
Joey's golf analogy or metaphor is that when you're golfing, you're playing against yourself. Yes, there's other people on the scoreboard, but like what Tiger Woods does not matter. Like he can't do anything to hurt you. He can't go do anything to like mess with your game. You just have to play
right
your game. So
in the
that's his.
sense of a friendly match.
Yeah, that's his golf
I like that.
thing. You want to hear my baseball one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna have to go out there every night. It's like think about it like a pitcher. So the best pitchers are the ones that know how to hit their spots. They might have to learn a new pitch, but they always have the most command. Like Greg Maddux threw complete games on 80 some pitches. He didn't throw the hardest or anything, but he knew how to hit his spots and succeed in the right moments. So that's
Mhm.
you're not going to have your best stuff every night, but the consistent professionals and the ones that are respected do it for a long time.
Right.
And that's mine.
I like that. So I don't know if mine's as articulate because I've told people it and they're like, "Yeah, keep working on it." But mine is just like for bowling, you have the chance at a perfect game every
Mhm.
single game, right? Uh, and you're always gonna have a new frame to start with, and you can knock that joke down on the first try. Even if you don't knock it down on the first try, you're gonna have a chance to knock it down on the second try. And then if you don't close that out, you move on to the next frame and you have another chance to knock it down again.
That's interesting. There's
You
something
know?
there. There's
There's
something
something.
there.
The
Yeah.
the thing is with me, I got very into bowling a couple years ago and just, therapeutic for me to play. Like in a sense of like
You're an
baseball.
interesting guy. I don't mean to cut the you're an interesting
No,
guy.
thank you.
You're into
Why do you say
bowling?
that? I got very into bowling a couple years ago. My friends and I would like gamble and play for money and
Oh, I
I
can't gamble. I'm not allowed.
no? Oh, you get
I
crazy?
I was an
You got
addict. I was on
you got
6 different books.
that's a lot. That's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, I just do it for, like, the little vices. I do small gambling, maybe like a $5, $10 game, but I could I'll get down and I'll be like, "Ah, I gotta play again," but I'm learning to cut my losses, I'm in the stock market now, I'm living and learning through that, and
Yeah,
I
same,
a
same.
little bit of gambling, couple options, those
You
but
wanna
with
trade
bowling
stock tips after this?
we could talk about it. I don't know, I don't know if I wanna get through to the next little thing. I lost money this past week on a Disney call, and I'm very upset over it. Shoulda
Okay.
cashed out, earnings came out good, and they were not good for me. But, what happened was, no, we just got into bowling. Like, I'm very into, like I said, baseball's not really therapeutic. Like, I played it growing up, and it's just, like, all these kids that just wanna play, like, hard. I'm like, "I'm here to be friendly, joke around." Like, I was talking about this yesterday or Friday going when I was hanging out with old baseball teammates. We were going skiing. Again, skiing, another thing that's just therapeutic and just very fun because you're just by yourself and you're just able to accomplish a goal and just, like, how exhilarating it is to, like, go down that mountain or
Yeah.
get that strike or strike the ball in golf and just, like, have a great shot. It just feels so good, like, you put in that work for that one, like, drive of, like, for that one drive, for that one strike.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my baseball friend, and again, like, baseball is just not, like, therapeutic for me because I would just have fun there. I just make friends, and, like, I remember my boy was saying when he was pitching, he'd be like, "Dude, I still think it's, like, one of the funniest things when you were in the outfield," and you'd be like, "Bring that Monterey Jack! Bring the mozzarella!" And that's what I do. I just be a goofball in the fucking that was, like, 5, 7, 6 years ago, and I was just a
Yeah.
goofball in the dugout. I was that guy who was just the
You're
friendly
a
face.
locker room guy. You're a locker room
Right.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I would sign you to a league minimum. You'd be the 26th guy on the roster, and you would be the glue guy in the locker room. That's what you would
I
do.
I'd appreciate that. Definitely be making more money than how much I'm making now.
Yeah, I think it's like 5K a day or 3K a day is league
And
minimum.
that's fucking sick, dude. And I
Yeah.
would just cheer everybody up, be like, "Why we down? We're all fucking you." Like I like to cheer people up. I like, "Hey man, you got this going for you. You got that going for you." Hey,
Yeah,
just
and
because
then you
you're
have to deal
like,
well, then also you're gonna have to learn Spanish because the Dominican guys and the Cuban guys, you're gonna
"Hey,"
have to
well,
handle that.
I'm gonna need a translator.
Yeah.
I'll
Great.
tell
Not
he'll
gonna
take
sign a 27th guy, it's just not gonna work.
my he'll take my cut.
But, so you're into this whole, like, therapy, sports thing, that's really
Right.
interesting,
Like, I had
the
to do
ba
that for golf over the quarantine because what happened was I got very into, conspiracies, and I got down a deep, dark rabbit hole, and
what are you on, like, QAnon or something?
I got into it, yeah. I just
No.
read into it. I just read into all the
No.
old adrenochrome, and I was like, "Oh, this is scary stuff. It has to be
Dude, I'm scared,
happening
I
if
think
they
my
know
dad's
about it."
getting into QAnon. I think my dad's getting into QAnon.
It's just like the thing is, like, if they like, you can mention anything, and anything is possible. Like, I've made cartoons about horses betting on humans racing. So it's like, it's not
Hmm,
possible, it's not a real world, but you can make it and show it. So it's
yeah,
like, when people talk about, like, draining little kids' blood, like, it's almost, like, so close to being real, you're like, "Oh, that's scary to even think about." So it's like, I
yeah.
got down that rabbit hole, and I was like, "I gotta get out of here," so I just went and golfed all of, like, August, and just
Yeah, I
golfed for,
played a
like,
lot of golf,
30
man,
days.
yeah.
And it was very therapeutic, like being I would go alone a lot, and I would go with friends here and there because my friends aren't that good. So like sometimes like they're holding you back, and I'm like, all right, dude, like I'm there on their third shot. I'm still waiting to hit my second shot from my drive. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I know exactly oh my god,
so
like,
annoying.
I think my handicap's, like, I don't know, like 17, 18. I haven't played in a while, so it's
Mhm.
probably now it's, like, 18 to 20, but,
But
like,
you
when
can
I in the
play and keep up,
yeah,
right?
like, so what'd you say?
You can play and keep up though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like when my buddies that like don't play or play the 3 times a year want to get out there and play, and they just hack, 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 and they're like, I'm like, just pick up, and they're like, no, I want to practice. I'm like, it kills me. Like I have to play by
Oh
myself.
yeah,
I
exactly.
put on my 70s and 80s classic rock playlist. I get out there
Yeah,
and
you just
relax.
vibe out. I roll up a joint. I get in the course. It's just a great fucking time.
Boom, there it is.
And it's just very
Uh,
therapeutic. Maybe I'll think of a joke or two while I'm out there.
mm-hmm.
The joke I had for golf, the joke I had, again, is just these jokes I make, sometimes they're just so specific. I hate that comedy's subjective, whatever. But I
Yeah.
made this joke about, again, how I got into conspiracies over quarantine, and I just got down this deep, dark rabbit hole. So I went out and golfed, and I helped clear my mind, get out into the wilderness. And but then when you're on the golf course, you one day you shoot an 85 and you feel great, but then the next day you go to the same exact course and shoot 100, and it had you more delusional than when you were watching Conspiracy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that joke would kill at a fucking clubhouse, at a fucking clubhouse. I said a fucking.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. I mean, I am the king of the golf jokes. So probably the only good one I'll hit all day. Oh, bad day golfing's better than a good day with the misses. Am I right, fellas? I mean, I
I,
kill in the clubhouse.
yeah, that's. I mean, again, locker room guys. What it's all about.
I'm a locker room guy. Yeah.
What it's all
I
about.
I wanted to like when it came to like my baseball job, I didn't really want to be so like day one of intake the agency I worked at. They're like, all right, what's everybody want to do? And they're all talking. They're like, I want to be the youngest GM. I want to be a GM. I want to be a president of baseball ops. And I'm like, dude, I want to be a comic, but like if I have to be a fielding coordinator for a minor league team, like I'm cool with that. And then I just realized like I'm probably not cut out to do this
Yeah. How'd you realize that?
because I mean, I was trying so hard to like get to Philly and I was an hour and a half away and I'd go to shows and then I'd do my podcast throughout the week. And I was just like, yeah, man, there's no way I can balance doing a job that's nights and weekends like baseball and also try to be a comic.
Yeah, it's very tough. That's the
It's
thing with
just,
my day job. It's perfect. I work in schools,
yeah,
and but the thing is, I would get last year. I work as a substitute, so I can pick and choose when and where I want to work if it's available.
uh huh,
And this time last year was COVID, so I was not getting work. But last school year, when I was getting pretty consistent work, I would get great material out of it. And I was
yeah,
working. I work like so I'm not a teacher. I'm a para, which is a teacher, like an assistant. I work with kids who have like special needs, learning
yeah,
disabilities, allergies, stuff like that, or behavioral problems. and I was like their nanny. And basically, I would either work with general education students who would like just have like allergies, I'd just carry their EpiPen around, or like they would be like a little special needs, and I'd have to tell them to focus on their work. You know what I mean? And I would get great material out of it. I would be like, oh, I love, I feel like I found my calling, which is kicking kids' ass in gym class because that's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I'm working with like these 6, 7 year olds who are just like nonverbal, and you just have to repeat everything, and you're very hands on. And I'm basically like their personal teacher. You know what I mean? And like there's a teacher, but I'm basically like doing everything with them, and it's just a lot of work. Look, and it's a great day job though because I can do comedy at night, and
Yeah.
my day is over. My work, like as a para, you leave work at work. As a teacher, you have to bring your work home. You know what I mean? So like
Mhm.
I'm sort of working towards getting my teacher's degree, but because I do have an associate's, and I
Yeah.
got this whole job in order for me to go back to school because this job will actually pay for you to go back to school and finish your undergrad. So that's
Wow, that's
why I
cool.
have the job in the first place. But
Yeah.
now comedy is really taking off. So I'm really conflicted, but I'm just taking it day by day and seeing where it's going. I'm slowly starting to get work again. It's funny
Yeah.
because I haven't been getting work at all, right? And now I got consistent work at this one school for the last a month and a half, and I have off of work now for the whole week. And I'm like, oh, I need this week off because these kids were so stressful.
Brutal. Yeah.
And it's just funny how last year, December, I was like, I need fucking work. Can I get fucking work? And I'm fiending for it. But now I'm like, oh yeah, I got to take off.
That's wild, man.
And it is stressful, but again, a lot of a few material. Can I run my newest joke by you?
Yeah,
I've been running
if you think I'm a good litmus test, yeah.
But basically, like I said, I work with these students, and the students I'm working with now, they're like 6, 7 year olds, and they have these like reward systems set up where they will reward you for doing the task that you had at hand, and basically they'll reward you with like you do your task, you'll get rewarded with like a ball. You get to play with a ball, or you get to play with the trampoline. But
Mhm.
the student that I work with, one of his rewards is to be tickled. So, hey, at least I'm getting paid to tickle little boys now, right?
Oh, man.
But it's
Oh.
it's it's good because I have a lot of experience in it.
No, there it is.
There it is. It's so funny, dude. I've been telling that, and I'll be like, "That's the only actual joke of it, and nobody likes it."
About the well, I think they're just put by the tickling little boys thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, like, so, like, that's all true. So they laugh at the
Right.
true part, but then I'm like, "Oh, it's okay because I've had plenty of experience." That's the joke part, but they can't differentiate that, which is sort of annoying. You know what I mean? I'm like, "Okay, fuck you guys, you."
Honestly, what got me is just, like, how you set it up with the rule of thirds. You're like, some kids get the ball,
Right.
some kids get the trampoline. I got a kid that likes to be tickled, and then you cut it there.
Mhm.
That made me laugh, and then you kinda, like, overkilled it with the whole, I have a lot
You
of
said it.
experience tickling little boys.
Mhm.
But again, it's up to the artist's discretion. But the part that
Right.
killed me
I appreciate
was
you letting
honestly
me
the
run that.
setup.
I appreciate you letting me run that. Yeah, so that's been one of my newer jokes. So, like, again, that's, like, things I talk about, just, like, life experiences and, like, what is going
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
like,
man.
it's
I
been tough
thrive
for me.
off human interaction, and I haven't been
Right.
able to get human
Yeah.
interaction because I write a lot about everyday, mundane things,
Right.
and it's tough for me, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I sit in an office, my parents have a business, and, like, I talk to the maintenance man and my parents, and that's it, and I watch the news. I can't really get a lot of stuff out of that.
Right.
It's tough. It's tough stuff.
I know, I feel you on that. But luckily, I've been getting more 10 minutes. There haven't been too many mics in the last couple months, but
Yeah.
I have been getting on a few more shows. So I've been running like 10-minute sets, and I have had over 10 minutes of material. I've been doing a lot of old stuff that like sort of portrays who I am, and doesn't really matter whether it's uh COVID pandemic or not. And then I've also tied in some new pandemic jokes, so like it
Yeah.
just feels natural.
I haven't honestly written anything about the pandemic or a joke that falls in line with that, and I don't know why that is. I guess it's just, like, I mean, if you're not cut out for it, you're not cut out for it. Like, I'm not gonna force myself to sit down and write
Yeah,
a joke about the
exactly.
pandemic.
Yeah, it's not like you're writing for, like, a TV network where you're like, "You gotta punch out these jokes right now." You know what I mean?
What do you think about stuff like that? What do you think about, like, the late night television and everything?
I mean, it would be cool to have a late night set on TV to show my friends, and people be like, "Oh, Jared was on TV. I know him."
Yeah.
But, as in writing for that, like, I could write jokes, I feel like, but it's just, like, I'm more of a talker and not a writer.
Right.
But, again, I am a writer, but I just rather talk my stuff out and then write it afterwards.
Mhm.
But, if I had assignments, I don't know, I'd be open to doing it. I'm open to a lot of things at the moment, but I'm just working on it. I like late night TV. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's just another exercise of being able to write.
Yeah. I know a lot of people like to mock it, and you know, my show is what it is, and that's fine. But I think if I were ever somehow like develop a late night show, here's how I would do it. You can tell me it's a good idea or bad idea. I think doing 5 hours of TV a week is dumb. I don't think they should be doing that at all. I think there needs to be 2 episodes a week. You do it on Tuesdays, you do it on Fridays,
Hmm,
and then you bring on people that you're friends with or people that you like, and you don't sit up there and you don't say movies coming out on Tuesday. Let's talk about the movie. This stunt scene was crazy. Like, you actually talk to the person and you get good content out of the genuine conversation, and then you bring on maybe a musical guest and stuff like that. And you have your one sketch and that's it, and maybe
mhm.
don't do a 5-minute monologue. Maybe just say, like, welcome to the show. Today's our guest is da 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 da. I don't
Yeah,
know. That's where I am right
that's
now in
what
terms
I
of what I
think.
would do if I had a show.
Well, do you watch it at all or no? I don't watch it
Sometimes
too
I watch it. I'll watch Conan,
much. Mhm.
and yeah, that's really just about like background noise. I'll be watching South Park, and then it'll change to the nightly show, but I don't really like watch it
Yeah,
nightly.
I don't really watch it either. But that's how some people get their news. Uh, so maybe that's why they have it on every day.
That's a good point. That's a good point about that being a news show. So that's a good point. But yeah, I like to watch old, Letterman stuff. I like to watch old Conan stuff. I don't hate late night television. I know a lot of people mock it, but I don't like it. Or
Yeah.
I don't like hating on it.
I mean, I'd love to work for it one day, right? Sketches and but
That's the thing. That's the thing.
I have
And comedy's like one of the only things where people will like mock you for making money or like mock you for
yeah,
like quote unquote selling out. Like, you
yeah,
have a job writing jokes and you quote
yeah.
unquote sold out.
We just talked about that with Instagram, right? Like me posting I told you people will make fun of me for posting like boomerangs of
Do they
comedy.
really mock you for that?
Yeah, one a name I like, a boomerang boy. They called me the other day, which was great.
That's
And
actually not bad.
right, I liked it. I liked the boomerang boy. I'm like, yo, catch a good rang of me, bro. You know what I And, hey, man, they'll repost it, and that's just, marketing. They're seeing me, and you'll mock me for it, but then when I'm getting more followers and people are seeing more, you'll be like, "Oh, how do I do that?" And I'm like, "I showed you, and I told
Yeah,
you."
that's
People
honestly how I probably followed you. Maybe Clyde
exactly.
reposted the
Yeah,
boomerang.
there you go. And you're like, "Oh, he's saying something funny. I think I'll follow this guy." And that's exactly how it is. Just like people are just envious, they'll see you writing and doing a job, and they'll be like, "Oh, why can't I have that? Why can't I have that?" And the thing is, people do too much asking of why and not asking of how.
Ooh, now we're
Yeah,
getting deep and philosophical. I
yeah.
like it.
I'll just say regular words, and people will be like, "Oh shit, you just said regular words," and make them sound so philosophical by turning it into a quote. I was just getting
Yeah.
made fun of for that yesterday.
The problem I have when I do like solo episodes sometimes is like I'll start talking about a topic and then it'll just be the most random metaphor about, time travel or something like that and how
I
that
like time travel.
compares to walking through the grocery store, and I just lost myself in my own metaphor. I have a problem with that.
Oh, dude. I mean, I feel like that's happened a whole bunch with me on this podcast today.
Yeah, so one quick thing before we get out of here. Jared is a sneaker guy, and I want to be a sneaker guy. I like Air Max ones, and I
Big
think that might be it. I don't know. I like Air Max ones. So I've been doing this thing lately. I had it on my Instagram story at Franco's World _ and I asked people, this was months ago, like, give me your favorite TV show, and I'm gonna design a shoe or a colorway based on the logo of the show, or if it's not a good logo, then I'll base it off the show itself. I asked Jared this because he's a sneaker guy, and he told me Fairly Odd Parents was arguably his favorite show of all time. Kind of a weird choice
Up
for a
there.
grown man, but
Hey, man, you can't forget your roots.
but I designed a colorway for him. I wanted to put something on the back like Cosmo and Wanda on the back. I want to have one shoe be green, one shoe be pink, but I couldn't do it because there wasn't a lot of
Yeah,
options.
it's limited,
But
very limited.
but what are your thoughts? And I'll put this up along with the show. But what are your thoughts on the Fairly Odd ones?
I really like them. You know what? Maybe I'm looking at them now. I love the pink, love the green. We discussed it earlier. The green could be a little bit more greener, right? We
Hmm.
discussed that. I love the black sole at the bottom. I would. I think I'd leave the white sole as well, right? But maybe I'd like to see how it looked black. I'd probably leave it white. But now I'm looking at it. I would turn the Nike check gold for the wand,
The wand. Oh,
right?
that would be hot. There
There
was
was
no
no
like
gold.
yellow. There was like a honeycomb, and it wasn't
Mm.
yellow. Like I didn't like it.
I think that you tried it? Maybe like the Nike Air on the back written in gold or something like that, but that would be a nice little touch. Other than that, I think they're perfect, and I'm a big fan,
I'll send you.
and
Hold
I
on.
would wear.
I got a couple other shows if you just want to like see the other ones I made, and we can just go
Yeah,
through this whole thing.
you can send those to me, I don't mind.
Okay, so here come. I'm sending you right now. The King of Queen. You like King of Queens?
I'm a fan.
Okay, here's the King of Queens shoes. And then this is funny. I'm literally sending emails while I'm on the show. This is great. Do you watch The Mandalorian?
No.
Okay, never mind. You're skipping that. Let's see here. Law and Order.
Yeah,
Do
SVU.
you know? But you know Law and Order though.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Okay, okay. I'll send you that, and then I think that's good. Yeah. Okay. Coming to you. Here's the King of Queens and
Um,
the Law and Order shoes.
they're brown. Oh, okay. Little UPS type of action?
Yeah. I couldn't get like the logo. I wait. Did the back not come with? Because the back says King and Queen.
Oh,
All right.
I don't think it came with.
All right. Well, never mind. It's not important.
The Law& and Order one. Those are pretty nice.
The Law and Order ones are
I would
tight.
wear those. Those are tight. I would wear those.
See, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to get to a point because I want to be a shoe guy eventually.
Mhm.
Maybe not like to the extent that you probably want to be, but I would like to have some nice shoes.
I've been doing it for over 10 years now, so it's like I there's a thing between being a shoe guy, sneakerhead, hype beast, but it's like I just like sneakers and I like looking good in my outfits. So like I like to have a nice fresh. I don't always have a fresh pair. I do wear my sneakers so they get dirty. I think that just adds to the character of the
Yeah,
shoe.
I beat mine up.
Yeah, like it gets to I won't if I beat it past a certain point, they're either gym shoes or like playing in mud shoes, so like I won't wear them out anymore. But for the most part, like my shoes are pretty pristine. I say that
Yeah.
very casually because they're not. But I've been in it like I said, I've been in it for like over 10 years now. I just like to wear sneakers that I like, and I don't
Hmm.
like go out of my way to like purchase things anymore or trade. So I
You don't
used
get
to
on
be
the sneaker app, the
I
Nike
used to be
sneakers app.
yeah, I used to be all up in that's you never went on that, but, like, I used to be on, like, Facebook before they had a marketplace.
Wow.
We would have groups where we would trade, and, like, there would be forums where we would just talk and be like, "Oh" I used to be on this Facebook group called, I forgot the name of it, but we would have, outfit battles, and we would post
Outfit
we
battles.
would have out that's so funny that you laughed out loud at that, which that's just what we would do, that was the sneaker,
I just like the term battle, like it's a whole battle.
yeah, yeah, we would have a legit so he would post the photos of us side by side, and then he'd post the comment, be like, vote for Jared, vote for Franklin," and, whoever got the most votes would win, and, it was a lot of fun, you'd take a fresh fit pic, you'd send it to him, hopefully you find a battle, and,
That's
you
absolutely
hype
wild. I
it
didn't even
up.
know this underworld exists. This is a
Right.
whole new world for
That's just
me.
it's like me how I found comedy. I'm like, I had no idea this exists, but I just fucking love it,
That's
And
wild.
it's just you find these kinks, if it kinks. I guess you can look at it as a kink. You find these like niches in life and just like gravitate towards them, and it's just like, wow, there's a whole community of these people, and you just feel more connected to people through that, and it's awesome.
Yeah. I want to get to a point where, in terms of my entertainment career,
Hmm.
where like once a year or once every so often, I do a colorway like that, and I release it. Essentially, like I create like I don't know, maybe 50 pairs, and then like I release them out, and then like the people that listen to me and stuff like that, or like my stuff can like buy them as well, and it can be like a thing. Does that make sense?
That you like releasing a sneaker that you made, you're saying,
Y-
essentially?
yeah,
Yeah, I know people who do that. There's actually this one guy recently, he was making sneakers. So he was making his own shoe from scratch,
yeah. No, I'm not doing that.
but the silhouette was very Nike-like, but it didn't have a check. It would have like his like it would be the check, but when you get to the swoosh part of it, it would be like the Freddy face, the Freddy mask, and he got like sued for it. But he would that's what he would do.
Ugh.
He would make his own sneakers, his own. He would release old colorways of the Nike SB, but put his own check and put his own logo on it,
Uh huh.
and they did not let that fly. Uh,
What do you think Nike would do if did what I'm doing now, but it's like it's all Nike, and I'm not taking credit for it other than this is
what
my
all
colorway.
you're doing is just making them on Nike ID and then flipping them. Essentially, is what you're saying?
Not necessarily not flipping them for like profit, but just being like a cool thing. Like
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. No, they would obviously not. If you're buying from them, they don't care what you do with the sneaker after that. Like once
okay,
you purchase their sneaker, they don't give a fuck. But yeah, I know people who customize sneakers. That's a big world, customization. I know all about this guy Mosh 275. That guy's a killer. He just puts he's an artist and he just fucking makes people sneakers and he's made sneakers for like LeBron James and like fucking
is this the guy?
football
Is this the
players.
guy that spray paints OBJ's cleats?
Yes, I think, this is there might be another guy. I think OBJ uses another guy, but I think Mosh has done something for, OBJ. If
Yeah.
you Ma MACHE 275. I remember this guy's at 500. I'm looking at his Instagram right now. He's at 572,000.
Wow.
That was the way I said that. 572,000 followers. I remember he used to post a photo of he's a sports guy, so he would post a photo of a jersey. Like he would post Ken Griffey Jr. when he hit 24K. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Clearly he's not doing that anymore, but I remember when I was following him, he was doing that. You know what I mean?
That's really cool
Oh,
though.
look, I just went to my Instagram messages and shows how long you've been following someone, and it says you followed this Instagram account since 2012. So it's
Wow.
great to see him 8 years, 9 years now, how far this guy has grown. And that's just where sneakers are. The community will back you if they like what you do and put out. So yeah, if you put out sneakers like that and people are interested, I think you could do it.
There it is. Again, like this is like solely like people listen to like the show and then whatever happens and with my stand up happens with my stand up and like develop somewhat of a fan base. I think it'd be cool to have a limited release
Yeah,
shoe every now and again.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I,
I'll get you on the wait list for the first pair on me.
hey, you're making the Cosmo Wandas. I'm
That is the Cosmo. Is that what we're calling it, or we're calling the Fairly
Cosmo
Odd
Wan
Ones?
the Fairly Odd One. They could be the Fairly Odd Ones, but Cosmo Wanda, you ain't slick. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna be saying that to
I wanted to like make the airbag black for Mr. Crocker,
me. Mm,
but that would have been too much black.
yeah. Mr. Croc. Just that's basic. I get what you're saying though.
Yeah. All
That
right. Well, again, if you guys go follow Jared at the Kid Jared, great follow. Anything you'd like to leave the people with, my friend?
nah, if again, just follow me on social media. Come to my show in the city every Tuesday. Follow us. We haven't thrown a show in 3 weeks because we're an outdoor venue at the moment, and it's snowed every Tuesday. But tomorrow's looking pretty good, so we might do it. But follow us on Instagram at Mama's Boy Comedy at the Kid Jared. I'm just doing comedy and hoping to make a career in it. Hopefully, I don't know if you guys could help out. I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, give him a follow. He's a good guy. Don't say I had to stop saying this too. And I'm gonna make you stop saying it as well. Don't say hopefully. You are a comic. You are making
Oh,
a career out of comedy.
well, just hopefully make a career out of it. I am a comic. I do say I'm a comic, but the career part, the thing is, there's not a career in stand up. Really, it's all about the other adventures. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, gosh, we could talk for another hour about
Right,
this.
right, exactly.
How how it's like, all these people are, like, making money with ads, like, you don't get paid for spots as much anymore.
No, no, I was lucky to even get paid for any spot this year already, which has been sick, you know,
Do
but
you think there's, like, too many people trying to do stand-up that you think it's too diluted?
oh, well, thank God for the pandemic because it has thinned the herd, which is what we needed.
That's what I heard. I asked
I'm out
James
here.
that. I asked Mr. Camacho that, and he's like, "I haven't seen a ton of people, but I don't pay attention to what everybody else does."
Right, exactly. You can't, but you have to, but when you do pay attention, you're like, "Oh, that guy hasn't been around in 6 years. Thank God." You know?
Yeah.
But
So do you think it's a lot of people just taking up stage time that didn't really wanna be there, and then the pandemic hit, and then it's like, "Okay, I'm out."
yeah, that's what it's seeming like now, but it's like, "Oh, but we're looking out for our grandparents." Okay, I'm looking out for my mental health, you know what I mean? I have to be on stage in order to survive too.
Yeah.
Some people don't have feelings for other people as much as they need to.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I get what you're
Right.
saying. For me, being in West Virginia and, um, I had an interview with New York Mets to like this was after the 2019 season ended. I had an interview work with New York Mets 2020 season, and then that got banged.
Ah,
So I
sucks.
was like, shoot, now I can't go to New York to try to do my stand up
Oh, man,
stuff.
that would be
So I
sick.
had to, and then I also had another interview to work with NBC on the Olympics, and then there was no Olympics. So like both the jobs that were going to be in New York got banged, and now I'm like, I had to move back home to West Virginia and had to do a whole mental rehab and figure out what was,
Yeah,
what I need to do. And honestly, I know these Zoom shows, I know a lot of people mock them, but for me, it's like my only opportunity. I use this show as like reps. I do like
as
reps
you
on the
should.
show, but
Yeah, man, I mean,
also
talking,
like the
go
Zoom
for
shows
it.
and stuff are reps for me. So that's been a great
Yeah.
outlet.
That's what you need to do. I mean, everybody's gotta find, their way of just being able to stay mentally healthy. For me, it's mental health over physical health. So I have to go
Mhm.
out. I can't sit in the house. It's just not healthy for me. Like I said, that's why I go bowling. That's why I go golf. So
Yep, yeah, just
yeah,
banging pins and boomerangs. That's what Jared does, folks.
and chilling.
And chilling. Yeah, dude,
And I had
I
a
need
lot
to
of
come up
fun.
with a thing. I need to come up with a thing.
Everybody, dude, it'll come. It came to me. It'll come to you.
I panic a lot. I mean, I get a lot of panic attacks. Maybe I could be the panic attack
Oh
guy.
no, I already know a panic attack and podcast. I don't want to plug them, but I know that guy already. He's great. If,
Wait, what? There's a guy that does that?
no, his name. They have a. It's called Panic Attacking Podcast. It's
Mhm.
Steven Rogers and Andrew Chavone. Very funny guy. Steven Rogers. He opens up for Brian Regan.
Yeah, I know Steve. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's great. You should get him on. Tell my
I mean, he's
tell
probably a little bit too big time for me,
no,
honestly.
not. Don't
I'll reach out to I'll
huge.
whatever, I'll cut all this. I'm
That's
stumbling. But,
that's his thing. He's very panic attacking guy.
well,
I'm
I
good.
appreciate you coming on, man. I mean, you're a great guest. You're a funny guy. You got any big projects coming out or anything in particular?
I will be in Houston if you have any Houston listeners.
I get a couple Texas listeners, but they're in the Austin area.
Well, I'll be in the Houston area at Comedy Hub Houston with Karen Feehan in March 20th. I The only other projects I got are my show Mama's Boy Comedy, which I don't think I mentioned earlier. Mama's Boy Comedy. That's MOMMASBOY Comedy on Instagram and Twitter. I don't really post on Twitter, but we're a show every Tuesday at the moment outside. We might be going inside in a couple weeks. I'm
Mhm.
getting the details on that. But other than that, you can follow me on just Instagram at the kid Jared.
Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Follow the kid, Jared. In the meantime, keep taking care of yourselves and keep all those questions coming when I do them. I don't know why I said that. Just stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye.